The physical reality is a complete illusion, and it is so fluid and malleable. It can be whatever it is that you want it to be. So here is how you're going to bend your reality, timeline jump, create portals and move through them so that you can have the life that you dream of. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Juliet Cleary. I'm a manifestation coach teaching you to quantum jump to your highest timeline. And if you resonate with this message, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and tap that bell icon. If you would like to work together, or if you would like my free 7-day guide to quantum jump to your highest timeline, it's in the description box below for you, as well as the link to my meditation channel. I was watching Loki last night on Disney Plus, and they said something, and I'm like, ooh, there's like, reality is not what you think it is, something like that. I'm like, that is true, because reality is not what you think it is. Your entire outer world is literally a mirror. It's a mirror, that's it. What you put out is what you get back. What you say to the mirror, what you be to the mirror, it's what you get back. What you show up as is what you see in the reflection. And I had this weird experience a couple of weeks ago where it was going on all throughout night as I was in and out of sleep in a theta brainwave state, and I knew that everything was kind of water. Everything is water, everything is liquid, everything is fluid. It's not solid like you think it is. It appears to be solid, but that's illusionary. So everything is very fluid. Everything is liquid. Everything is moving, it's malleable, and it's alive, it's consciousness. Everything is this fluidity, this water, it's consciousness, it's alive, and it can be whatever you want it to be. And literally I'm sitting in bed and I could see this fluid, liquid energy becoming like a kind of being or entity right in front of me. And then I had another download during my meditation, which kind of like showed me a state above, like where we are in this physical experience, a kind of state just above that. And it just said, you know, this is a dream. This is an illusion. This is your illusion to play with. So I'm going to be going through a few techniques in this video of how you can bend your reality. I am also going to be launching a program on reality bending. So if you're interested in that, the waitlist, to sign up for the waitlist, is in the description box below. And this is really for people who want massive transformation, massive changes, to jump to a vastly different timeline in the easiest, simplest ways possible, the way that I have been. And oh my God, I will tell you, this year has been insane. I even think back to earlier this year and it feels like a dream. I'm like, what? That feels like a dream. Like when you remember a dream, and then I think back to past years, I'm like, what? Like that happened? Like just doesn't feel like my life. And things are changing and shifting for me and accelerating, and it's just been so exciting. And so I want to share more of that with you guys and get you to shift into your highest timeline so that 2024 is just completely insane for you, magical, miraculous, abundant. So if you want to join the waitlist, link is in the description box below. So every version of your life exists. So if you ever left a relationship, you broke up with an ex, there's also a timeline where you stayed in the relationship. There's a timeline where you never had that relationship. There's infinite timelines, guys. Infinite timelines. Infinite versions of you, infinite versions of your life, even your past and your future. You know, when people are tapping into past lives, they're not past, they're here now. That's why you can tune to them. Everything you want exists already, here and now. Everything. Infinity, infinite potentials and possibilities exist here and now. Everything simultaneously. So reality bending is really you understanding that and then using certain tools or methods to jump to timelines where you have something you want. Okay, so Let's go through it. Number one is making different choices and changes. Now, don't go past this because this is huge. If you have ever seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, you will kind of understand what I'm talking about. So they use this tool and they like connect to a certain like parallel life, right? Parallel reality, a different version of them who, you know, for example, knows karate and they need to know how to fight in this situation. And basically it gives them a certain action to take that is something that's kind of weird or unusual, something that they wouldn't normally do. And that shifts them into that identity, into that timeline. And now all of a sudden they know karate. So the same thing actually applies in reality. When you make a different choice, a different change than you normally would, there's a timeline split, right? So let's say that you would usually, you know, you see a situation in your life and you would usually react a negative way and you usually do this and you take off on this path, right? But you have all these other options. And let's just say that you this time choose to not react or to respond very differently and see this as a positive thing that's actually helping you, whatever this unwanted situation is. You branch off into this timeline. And as you're moving through your day, let's just say, okay, I don't feel like exercising. I really want to be the person who's really fit and active and works out every day. That's who I want to be. But I don't want to do it. I'll just do what I normally do, right? That's what you normally choose. But instead, let's say that you're like, you know what? I would prefer to do this. I'm going to do it. And you get up off the couch, for example, and you go and work out. Timeline split. Something you don't usually do, something that you don't usually choose to act on. Even the assumptions that you make about things, you might usually choose to assume things don't work out for me, I'm not good enough, I'm unlucky, this is hard, life is hard, blah, blah, blah. You make some different choices here and there throughout your day. When you notice you're making those old choices, you make a different choice you don't usually make. Whoop, timeline split. The more that you're actually choosing, whether it's thoughts, emotions, actions, behaviors, beliefs, the more you're making different choices and different changes that are not what you would normally do, even like driving a different way, right? You are having timeline splits all day, but in a path that you don't normally take. You're usually choosing over in this direction, right? And now you're going to start to experience life in a way you never have before. You are going to tune yourself to a different timeline in the moment, the millisecond, instantly, as soon as you make a different choice or change. You have become a different person. You are a different person and you're in a different timeline. So who cares about what you can see around you, because the timeline that you're on has shifted, it's changed. So you continue to make little choices and changes that are different to what you normally choose, that are actually what you prefer to choose. It's not going to be long before you realize, oh my God, I'm in a total different life. I'm living a different life. I don't even recognize my old life, because that has happened to me twice now. Just big like, oh my God, I don't even recognize like who I was. I'm just in a different reality. Number 2, create a portal into another reality. I know there's all this talk about, like 11:11 and there's a portal and there's a Lion's Gate and there's all these different portals, and that's beautiful and wonderful. But you are also creating portals all day, every day, and you don't even realize it, and you got to take advantage of this. I remember Bashar telling someone that when there's an actor playing a role on stage, they literally, like they're really being the character, they're feeling it, they're being that personality, right? Even though they're acting, if you're a good actor, you really have to feel it and be it, right? You have to believe like you are that person. And he said that when someone does that, they literally, you can't see it, or maybe some people can, but they literally create a portal on the stage that they're acting on, that actually there's a timeline that is for this character, right? And I think that's why like a lot of actors say sometimes that they get kind of like stuck in their roles, like after they've finished a movie or a TV show, it's kind of hard to get back to who they were before because they really believe themselves to be this new person. You're doing that all the time. You are creating portals all the time in how you are, who you are being, how you are feeling, right? What vibration, what frequency you're emitting. Here's how you can have a little bit more fun with that, is you can intentionally say, I'm creating a portal right now in front of me. And you are to, like, whatever it is that you want to have, feel it. Feel it like you have it now. You can close your eyes, you can imagine it, but you don't even have to. Just feel the feeling. Maybe it's absolute abundance, freedom, joy, love, whatever it is, ecstasy. And fill your field of consciousness, because you are a field of consciousness. Fill yourself with that feeling. And I want you to know that in that moment, you have created a portal, literally. So you can just either accept that you've now moved into that reality, into that timeline, which you have, or you can do it a little bit more deliberately and playfully and imagine there is a portal in front of you, or maybe even a circle on the floor, and step into it, walk through it. Okay? Because this, like I said, this reality is not what you think it is, and you can really play with this in any way that you want. Like, I remember thinking when I was a kid, I know magic is real. And it's like realizing as an adult, oh my God, magic is real. You can also use water or tea as a portal that you hold, and you focus your energy of whatever it is you want, whoever you want to be, however you want to feel, into that, and then drink it. You can also use doors. You can decide, like literally just before you walk through a doorway, decide what reality you're walking through. Treat the door like a portal and then walk through it. Like, when I walk through this door, I am going to be the person that has XYZ, that everything's working out for them, that they feel so incredibly blessed and grateful and happy and whole or abundant, whatever it is, and then walk through that doorway, knowing you've created the portal because you have. But you must know that, right? Then walk through it and be in that energy. And usually, because I've done this, like, you will feel it. You will feel it. Be very intentional. Be very, like, hold that knowing of your power behind all of these processes, that you are that powerful. You can do this in any way you want to and have fun with it. Okay, number 3 is label everything as positive. This will really bend your reality, because as I've mentioned before, everything in your life is neutral. It is a neutral prop. So whatever situation that you're seemingly in right now, that's maybe not as you want it to be, if you define it, and not just using words, but really meaning it. If you define it as a positive thing, if you define it as actually serving you and benefiting you, you will get that outcome from it. Even if it seems like it was a negative thing to begin with. All circumstances are neutral. They're neutral. And they're reflections, right? So, of course, who you are being is what's reflected outside of you. But once it is a reflection, once you're looking in the mirror at it, it's neutral. It doesn't hold meaning. So even if it seems like this is a negative thing, if you define it in a positive way, you'll get a positive out of that. And that means that no matter if you were going this way and you were on a negative timeline, like a timeline that you didn't want to be on, with unwanted things showing up, you define everything as like a positive thing that's serving you, and you really mean it, and you look for the positives and you make the best of your situation. Boom, different timeline, massive shift. You'll know that you're on a different timeline and in a total different reality, because things will start to actually appear to be serving you. Things will actually start to look positive, like, oh, this was all benefiting me, right? Because even though everything is serving you and everything is happening for you, everything is benefiting you, you can still, with your free will as the creator, choose to look at it in a negative way and move down that timeline. But you can shift timelines and you can create from anything that even looks negative, you can create a positive out of it if you do this. Number 4 is to raise your level of consciousness. This is so important because if you, all right, so everything is here and now, and there's all these different frequencies and even, all these different dimensions that exist. In order to experience more in your life, in order to know more, in order to download new information, in order to experience life like you never have before and see beyond the veil, like see beyond this illusion, raising your consciousness is going to show you that, because what it does is raise your frequency, and all frequency holds information. When you raise your frequency, you download whatever information is there. So my big shifts this year and my big second awakening, didn't know that was possible, but there's always more to awaken to. That happened because I raised my level of consciousness, right? So if you raise your frequency and you raise your level of consciousness more often, you are going to experience life and this planet, this earth or your version of earth, like you never have before, because there's always more to be revealed. There's always more to experience and to see and to know and to remember, to realize. But you won't be able to if you stay at the lower kind of frequencies or you don't really expand your consciousness, because that's how you get to see more of what's really here and break down the illusion. Pull back the curtain and see what's really here and who you really are and how easy manifestation really is. And this also goes for manifestations coming in. You will attract like magic, because in higher levels of consciousness, you don't experience separation. You realize there is no separation. Therefore, what's in between you and what you want? Nothing. And if you do notice any limiting beliefs or patterns or anything, it's easier to release whatever you want to release or understand or see, or things that you feel like you need to know and let go of. It's easier to do that as you raise your level of consciousness. Because as you raise your level of consciousness, you raise your level of awareness. So everything becomes easy. And this will bend your reality like you have never experienced before. You will start to experience life and things and experiences and even people that you know as completely different, completely new, completely magical, like you never have before. Follow your happiness. Do the things you like to do. Your joy, your love, that's what raises your frequency. And also like meditations and breath work and being outdoors more, more elevated emotions, like I said, that'll get you there. Say thank you instead of asking. So this is something that I started to do, and it was something that while I was asking for something, I received this instant answer from my higher self, this instant guidance. Instead of asking, say thank you. Instead of asking, say thank you for it. And you're not trying to pretend like you already have it. It's got nothing to do with the current 3D. That's an old reflection. It's an old reflection of your past. So who cares? Let's react less to that and place less importance on that. But I've mentioned this previously. When you say, I want this thing, and maybe you're emitting that with your frequency, or maybe you're actually thinking or saying those words, and it's coming from this place of need and lack, not from expectation or joy or playfulness, right? It's coming from like, I want this thing, please give this thing to me. Like when we pray, we've been taught to pray and say, please give me this thing, and then wait for it, to be given, and then you kind of react when it's not given to you. But when you say, I want this thing, you get back what you put out. Your world is a mirror. You're going to manifest the experience of wanting that thing, of really wanting it, right? That's what you're going to get more of, instead of feeling it or embodying it or feeling like what it feels to have it, or simply saying, or even if it's a feeling, you can say it with words or you can just feel it, but saying thank you. That's how you pray. You say thank you knowing you've received it, and you receive it instantaneously. Let there be that little bit of time lag. Who cares? Don't react as much. Know you've received it. You say thank you for this incredible life. Thank you for all my dreams coming true. Thank you for my abundance, or abundance in all areas of my life. And you just feel it. And it's even for a few seconds, right? But anytime I noticed I would go to make a wish, like, you know, you find an eyelash and you make a wish, or you wish on a shooting star, or like whatever it is. I don't make wishes anymore, and I don't ask for something I want anymore. I either feel it, embody it, act knowing it's mine, or I say thank you for it. Like before I go to sleep, I would usually in the past ask for what I want. I want this to manifest. And then the download came, was like, say thank you for it. So I'm like, okay, thank you for this thing, because you instantly put yourself in that timeline. You instantly shift timelines in that moment. You do it, especially if you feel even slightly different, even slightly positive or confident or knowing or whatever. So it's not this thing of still trying to get it and I'm just speaking the words. It's really like feeling the gratitude of having that thing, because you do. And the reason why you can feel, the reason why you can feel as though you have that thing, even within your mind, within yourself, your emotions, is because you do. And you're just tapping into that reality. It's because you actually do have it that you're able to do it. You're able to tune to that and experience it and feel it. So this places you on a timeline and in an identity of already having it, as opposed to the previous timeline and identity where you don't have it and you still want it, and therefore you're going to continue to manifest still wanting it. All right, that is it for this video, but I have so many more like little tips and techniques which I will continue to share with you, especially in the reality bending program that will be coming out. So get on the wait list if you're interested. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave this a thumbs up, to comment down below. Let me know what you think. I love reading your comments. Share this with anyone who you think it may benefit, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you would like to work together, that information's in the description box below. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.